This one. There we go. Hmm. Anyway. All right, so we left off with Ivo on the island, the pirate island where Nate is. Why? Why is the music continuing? I'm very confused why the music is continued. Should you not? There we go. I was like, the music should not still be playing. I was like, let's not have the theme keep going and keep going and keep going. It's not the theme down below decks, right? It's not the same. Yeah. As I say, so that looks like that might. I don't know for sure, but that might be a bug. Because it looks like it might be a mistake where it doesn't fade out the music into whatever is here and just keeps playing whatever was playing before, which would mean the theme song, of course. So I still don't know how we're going to get oil, right? So we got this frying pan with potato slices, but I need oil, and then I can fry them on this. And then once they're fried, I can add the salt as well, but I can't do that until I have oil. And I'm not sure how we're going to get oil. I'm like 85 or something percent sure I already talked to the pirate, the red pirate or whatever, since knowing about the pan and the potatoes and needing to fry those to make crisps. And I don't think he had anything that helped us. We could always go talk to him again, but I've also talked to Mary. I don't think she'll know anything either, but I guess let's make sure I've talked to her.
I've got nothing to say right now.
Or, that I have nothing to say. That also works, I guess. It's probably all there's. I mean, there seems to be often just the one thing I'm missing, right? Sometimes I find it, and sometimes I don't. Glowing coals. I wasn't looking at the hover text, and so it was my peripheral vision. For a second, I thought it said cobwebs, and I thought it was something new to examine, but no. See, the kind of oil, we can't just use any oil, right? We're not going to use like petroleum or engine oil or something, right? We need specifically cooking oil. Some kind of vegetable, canola, cottonseed, coconut oil, whatever. Which means it needs to be a food-based item. Looking in boxes like this, unless there's a bottle or something of it, we won't find it in this type of area. I guess we'll go back up for now. Up here is less likely because there's nothing for the barrel or in the barrel. All this other stuff over here is going to be something that would be, if there even is oil, it'd be the wrong kind of oil. So, yeah. The look of irritation on her face was great. Yeah. Okay, I need to find food oil of some kind. Some kind of organic plant oil probably is the more likely thing, I think. But I don't know where I'm going to find the plant oil. We're just leaving him there. He's going to chill out. The snails, of course, are just hanging out. Hey, Cosmic. Thanks, I'll try. You too, man. Keep your chin up. And thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it, man. I know you're really busy these days, so thanks for taking the time to say hi. It's awesome. I don't know where I'm going to find cooking oil, though. Stone. I mean, potentially in some crates over there or something, but I already looked. I don't think any of those open anymore. So... or the pots over there, either way. None of those really. I already grabbed from over here. I wonder if there's anything else. Probably not. You know what this architectural style reminds me of, though? The fort in Amnesia Rebirth. Fortunately, I don't think any ghouls will be coming out of there, but still. Useless prisoner. I think it's funny that's a voice. So yeah, I already won. And in winning, I got... Let's get the outfit? No. I got... What did I get? Something I think I may have turned in. Because salt, pan, potatoes. Yeah, I don't think I got any of those from him. I think I got an item that I already used to try to get into the Oracle. Or the Seer or whatever. But still not quite yet.
His honor has to concentrate on his trial. I better leave him in peace.
I see. I'd normally say we could get coconut oil or something from around here. These trees or something, but it's not looking like I can really interact with him at all. Carefully examine them in case there are maybe small orbs, circles, right, hanging from that would represent coconuts or something. Or on the ground by them, of course. Coconut could fall to the ground. But I don't see anything.
Critter'll be all right. Won't matter what the outcome. He's a clever cookie and he'll probably save Nate.
It's a clever cookie.
I guess this key will unlock the stocks. If I was planning to set them free, I'd be interested.
That's what it was for. That's right. For some reason I was thinking it might open the door there. And then we'd have to do some kind of sneaking something or other, but I guess not. The desert buildings of Gothic 3. Someday. Someday I will get to Gothic 3. I know I've really not. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Elix. I'm trying to. Well, no, that's not true. I mean, I'm not a big fan, but I like it all right, I guess. I just have, I don't know. I'm so busy all day with work and everything. I work later than normal. Like, I work like 10, 11 hours a day sometimes. And then I'm so tired when I'm done at the end of the evening, I don't really have a desire to do almost anything except just kind of veg. So, I don't know. I need to figure things out, though, because I really want to get through the current series I'm doing on YouTube and then get around to the other one. So the next one, after I finish Elix, the next one slated is Witcher 2, Assassins of Kings. And that's not too long for an RPG, I've been told. And then after that, then I plan to do Gothic 3. So it's close as far as that goes, generally speaking. But no. Yeah, see, there's nothing. I could look at this, but that's not going to give me any oil. And then this won't open. I need to get this filled in. Can't even really back up at all, other than just exiting this area entirely. Since all of this is exit sign, yeah, even if there was, or exit icon, even if there were coconuts or something there, I'm not going to get them. What else can I use to get the oil? Unsalted
Salt
crisps
is
and
so
hash?
unhealthy. Let's try it without. Or maybe not.
Yeah, and she won't apply the salt unless I've fried them. Yep, so I definitely, absolutely need oil somehow.
The Archmage survived the long journey from Seastone to here well. I hope that the Oracle in the House Without Corners can tell me how to change him back.
Yeah, to a degree. I mean, I do like it overall. It's just there's a lot of extra, like for me. One of the bigger things also was at a certain point. Maybe it was just because I wasn't reading it right, but I was reading quest logs and it wasn't clear to me how to progress. I did finally figure it out, I think, but. So there's nothing around here on the ground or something either. How does... Will it let me click there? There and there. Go in there. That may not do anything though. Yeah, it doesn't take her anywhere. This might be entirely the wrong shop too. Like there might not have ever even been anything oil like here. But And I don't have anything that'll make... What is this again? This is disguise, right? Just shows it has a weird icon now for some reason. Pretty much all, other than the key, pretty much all of this is talk to the Red Pirate. So there's not... There, yep. There's not anything around him. Can't talk to the monkey. She doesn't want to talk to Nate or Critter. Nothing seems to be in the pots or barrels or crates or any of this stuff, boxes. I cannot get inside. Didn't see anything over here or up here. I just can't figure, for the life of me, I can't figure out what it is that it wants me to do to get the oil. There's no fire over in the main square area either. Not that that would matter, because we already have the stove with the glowing embers, and so that could cook the potato crisps potentially, and still we don't have cooking oil. I think I'm stuck. I have been back and forth a few times now. I cannot find cooking oil. I don't know what I'm missing, but I'm missing something. I've not played this game for a while, huh? Oh, there's a pot. I didn't even notice that. Maybe that has something in it, like oil. Maybe.
A sticky-looking pot with, some sort of slime. We don't have any machines in the Elf Burrow, but Wilbur told me about how he was responsible for oiling and greasing all the machinery in the gnome hole. I imagine the stuff in this pot is the same sort of thing.
So we're actually going to use machine grease to grease the... Gross. I thought that would be that would not be a thing.
The pot's half full of fatty grease.
Gross. Or maybe they were using organic grease to grease the stuff.
Fat is used for cooking, but this? Whatever.
Yep, that's all okay. I was going to say, gross, but I guess whatever. Okay, so there you go. That's where you get the grease pot right there. I didn't see that before, apparently. Bum, 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 bum. Fry with glowing coals.
Right. High heat, boiling fat, and thin potato slices. Should work. Oh, yes, I can smell it already.
Probably gross. All black and crisps when it comes back out because
Done.
It's...
If I didn't know it was just my hormones talking, I could easily eat those.
Gross. Yeah, you don't want to eat those. You definitely don't want to eat those. Okay, put this on there now.
Now to add the crowning glory to the crisps. Salt. Ready.
Those are going to be some super unhealthy crisps. And I'm not talking about how much fat, how fattening they are. I feel like that's the wrong kind of oil and somebody's going to get actually ill from eating them, but fine. If you say so, then I guess you say so. All right. Here we go.
All right then, open sesame. Are you taking the piss? I'm gonna do call and you can it up your you. I'm sorry. I really shouldn't be getting so excited. Let's try that once again. If you don't open this door this instant, I will personally ensure that this building is smashed onto the rocks 3,000 meters below us. Then I will set fire to everything on this island and allow the island to crush your broken body. And after that, I'll get angry. I see we understand each other.
She's like, you are not going to do this to me. I agree.
Don't go into the attic, oh, you stupid cow! Oh, yes, strawberry tart. Don't go there, honey. He's only gonna cheat on you.
So you are this oracle?
Good guess, Princess Ivo. You're much shorter in real life.
What's this about offerings? Do you think I'm going to be your errand girl?
Well, you already have been. I can't leave this room. I offer a valuable service, and someone has to do my shopping. No, not that door. Right.
So, the pirates have provided you with everything you need to survive?
Correct. But then the Red Pirate went crazy and scared them all off the island. That's why I have to make do with coloured sugar water and disgusting crisps.
You ate that?
I had to. I have needs, you know. Oh, yes, marry her without a prenup. That's a great idea.
Yeah, seriously, Cosmic. Sheesh. Welcome, Monmouth. Good day. So we finally got the crisps done. There was a little container of oil, machine oil, on the Mary that we grabbed from the deck and dumped that on the potato slices and then fried those up. So gross. Anyway, I guess because it's not human, the Oracle will be okay eating those crisps, but gross.
You told me in the Elf Burrow that I would come here, so you can see into the future. What's your game?
The mirrors show the future, or possible versions of the future.
Then why didn't you warn Wilbur or the Archmage what was going to happen?
How could I get their attention? Anyway, I only observe. I don't get involved. Oh, let him cry. He deserves it.
You're getting involved now.
But only because it's absolutely necessary. Oh, a boat! We're saved!
Being isolated all the time makes him go crazy some too. It's 5 a.m. there, man. Cosmic. I mean, I love seeing you on the stream, man, but don't kill yourself.
I've got the frog. I mean the Archmage.
I saw the battle! Spectacular! That little girl and Wilbur's wand. You couldn't make it up.
Is there a way of changing Master Alistair back?
Oh, that's not so easy. He hasn't just been turned into a frog. He is a frog now. Oh, don't go, Johnny. She needs you.
But he can be changed back, can't he?
Perhaps. His consciousness and his soul are in another place. But there is still a weak bridge connecting him to this world.
So there is hope?
Yes, but just a vague one. You have to... Wallop! Right between the eyes! That had to hurt!
It's like watching all these different displays and things, and so he's like ADD a little bit. Middle of the conversation, oh, look at that. Middle of the conversation, oh, look at that.
How can we return the spirit of the Archmage to this world?
The Red Pirate has a magic compass. It always points in the direction of what you desire most. In the case of the Archmage, this is hopefully a way back. The Lost Book of the Dead explains how to summon a spirit back into this world. But without a spark of life, he would die as soon as he returned.
A magic compass, a lost book, and a spark of life. Doesn't sound like a walk in the park.
That's why I lured you here.
Oh, no. Not him. No, 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 no.
You need them, Ivo. You won't manage this task without them.
A whole week off? Well, that's good. All right, well, like I said, just don't kill yourself. Otherwise, you know, I'm glad to have you on the stream, like I said, so appreciate it, man.
You said that the Book of the Dead had disappeared. Are there any clues to where it is?
Well, it's in a place without mirrors. That much is clear. It was kept in the legendary desert city of Lorem Ipsum in the Umzu Desert. No more is known.
Lorem Ipsum? Now, where have I heard of that?
An ancient city that finally lost the battle against the sand.
I'll find it, and the Book of the Dead.
Lorem Ipsum. It's the beginning of that, effectively nonsense Latin string of words people like programmers, developers use as placeholders. So if you have text you're going to eventually display, but you don't know what the text is, but you want to make sure that the way you display it is going to look good, you would put something like Lorem Ipsum. I don't remember all of it, but anyway, that whole like set of Latin words in there as filler, so you can then see this is what words will look like with this interface. Do we want to make adjustments? That kind of thing. Way he sounds if he was human, he's either one to wear a brown carpet-like patterned sweater and have ginger hair, or a blue one with blonde hair. So he'd have brown carpet-like patterned sweater and ginger hair. Oh yeah, okay. Or a blue one with blonde hair. Not sure I followed the second reference. Or maybe it's just that's just how you picture it. The first one reminds me of like Ron Weasley or something, so maybe that was what you're referencing. I'm not totally sure though. Yeah, she'll be stubborn, sure. Why not?
I will get these 3 things and change the Archmage back. On my own.
No, you won't. I have seen a future in which you fail, Ivo. A future that you won't live to see.
Oh, but that's only one possible future.
True, but are you prepared to risk its occurrence just because Nate gets on your nerves?
Ha! He doesn't just get on my nerves.
I know, it's... What? That's never a valuable antique.
No bad. I didn't know the reference because I have not played Red Dead Redemption or Red Dead Redemption 2. And yes, I really know I need to play them. There's so many games I really need to play. There's not enough time overall in like a day, let alone a week or month, a year in your life to play all the games. But
Very well. I'll get both of them out of there.
It's not that easy. You're forgetting the head.
The head of Medusa?
I've seen it. Fortunately, just through my mirrors. It's terrible. If you try to rescue Nate and the critter with all guns blazing, the Red Pirate will unveil the head, and then no magic in the world can save you.
Got any suggestions?
You have to win the court hearing.
Would that not strike you as somewhat improbable with that judge?
Not with the right defense strategy. I haven't heard that one before.
Hello? Stick to the point. How am I going to convince the Red Pirate of Nate's innocence? Considering the fact that I'm pretty certain that there's a case to answer on every single count.
Of course Nate did everything he's accused of. But was it his free will?
What do you mean?
Say someone is controlled by a voodoo curse and kills someone. Is he the murderer or the one controlling the doll? Ugh! Oh, I wouldn't eat that salad.
What have voodoo dolls got to do with Nate and the theft of the lamp?
Act as his defense lawyer and tell the Red Pirate that Nate was controlled by a higher power. The rest will follow of its own accord.
That's insane.
Trust me, I can see through all mirrors. And anyway, I love courtroom dramas.
You're gonna need something good if you want to be able to record yourself playing them. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I yes, you do. I don't have the most advanced system or something, but most of my stuff is pretty solid. I just need to replace my graphics card, which is fine. I'm probably going to be doing that in the next couple of months. I'll be getting a 4090 or whatever it is NVIDIA card, so.
Oh, that's all well and good. The question is, can I trust you?
What kind of a question is that? No matter what I say, you still won't know.
Maybe you're just telling me these things because you're bored and want to create a bit of chaos.
There are always exciting things happening in this world. I just want it to stay that way.
What do you mean?
Turn the Archmage back to normal. He can tell you.
Okay, I'm just going to go now.
Shh! He's proposing to her.
Well, thanks for your help.
No. I am actually not censoring you. No, that's I mean, I'm pretty sure, unless I'm misremembering the model number, but I'm pretty sure that's the one. Hang on. It's the 40 series. Yeah. RTX 4090? Yeah, that's the one I'm planning on. Yep. Yippers peppers. Okay. I don't know there will be, but let's see if there's anything else in here while I'm here.
Thousands of lives are being reflected in each mirror. I really shouldn't look, but there's such a powerful allure in watching other people go about their daily business. The Oracle said that the stories repeat themselves again and again. I think that's because people don't really change. Different places, different people, the same mistakes.
There's something to be said about that. There's a reason there's the saying, those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. If you look at this kind of cyclical nature, the going around and around in circles that people's actions tend to do historically, I mean, it's the same thing over and over and over again, right? People get free, and they're free for a while, they get prosperous, they fatten themselves up and get lazy and start feeling entitled, like they deserve things and stuff. And then if they don't watch themselves once they get to that point, then they'll get arrogant, and their hubris will cause them to make big mistakes that typically end in the results in the downfall of their civilization, which will maybe not complete destruction of their civilization, but at least it'll fall hard from its height of influence and prosperity and whatever. And once that happens, then somebody else comes, once that happens, then the doors open for somebody to conquer, not just them, but to conquer other lands, and it's just a cycle over and over and over again.
It's very difficult to recognize anything at all in this mirror. Perhaps it's showing a future in constant motion? Would I like to know when I'll die? And what is going to become of this one? No. I believe that not knowing what the future will bring is part of life.
Yep, I will want to, maybe not right away, but I will want to look and make sure that my motherboard and CPU are still fine to handle that. But I updated them only, I think now 2 years ago, but it's only been a couple of years. So hopefully they're still good enough. And I've got, I think it's 32 gigs of RAM. I've got tons of hard drive space. I've got it's like a 1200 watt power supply. Anyway, so the graphics card is really the primary thing where it would be lagging. I've got a whole bunch of fans and things for cooling, heat sinks and whatnot. So yeah, I think the main thing is just the graphics card. So I'll get that, and then I should be powerful enough to play whatever and record at the same time. Especially because if I get an NVIDIA, especially because a deal. Especially because if I get an NVIDIA comes built in with recording software, so I could either record it as an uploaded series, or I could do it as streaming this way. Although streaming would be more challenging because streaming also, what you guys would be able to see would depend on my settings because there might be way too much and stuff. Don't go too hard.
Perhaps you could help me again.
Shush! This is getting exciting.
Yeah, I probably don't need help anyway. I didn't know if there's anything more to ask him. Yeah, I don't really see anything else around here. There's this that she looked at and these mirrors. I don't really see anything else, so I guess we're just going out. I need to say that Nate was convinced or directed, whatever, moved upon by a higher power, I guess.
Excuse me, Your Honor, Judge?
Yes.
Yes, although it could also result in a bunch of money, which could result in a 4090. So, there's that too.
All defendants are entitled to a lawyer, are they not? I will be their lawyer.
Oh, really? Why not? Being the judge, I'm all for a fair trial. No one should be able to say, I sentenced them to death unjustly.
I don't know if I want to be represented by her.
Shut up, Nate. The accused is only allowed to talk when their lawyer tells them to.
Well, what do you have to say in their defense?
That's actually technically not true. That the accused can only talk unless their lawyer allows them to. It does depend on where you are as well, but...
He is not responsible for his actions. He's being controlled by a higher power.
Oh, the voodoo doll defense.
Not at all. There is a higher power which controls him and all of us, I think.
Oh, yes.
Indeed. Behold the water jug.
What?
Nah, that was the win.
No, that was the higher power.
If so, then it could get that coconut down from that tree. That is impossible.
Indeed.
You, turn around. Now go ask your higher power how many fingers I'm holding up.
3.
It is 3 fingers.
That's witchcraft. Someone's watching me. They want to control me. And they want to drive me crazy. But they won't get me.
That was brilliant. How did you do that?
I don't know.
You mean there really is a higher power controlling everything?
That can't be. Oh, higher power! If you are really there, make a green unicorn appear. See? Just a figment of imagination.
All right then, release me.
Tell us how you really feel.
Come on, Critter, we're going.
Don't I even get a thank you?
I didn't ask for your help, and we would have managed fine on our own. Isn't that right, buddy? You see?
Critter's like, you're wrong, Nate. What are you thinking? I also love how Critter was in the stocks only because he chose to be. He just like slides right out. Make a new government. Run away with the money to get the 4090. So fourth wall breaking interaction between players and pieces. Yeah. Yep, this game does that really well. I like it a lot.
I could have just left you to rot in the stocks.
Maybe you should have. You're good at betraying your friends.
I have not betrayed anyone.
Critter, can you tell that person that the proof of her infidelity is clear enough for anyone to see?
Critter, tell this excuse of a pirate that I was not unfaithful to him. Even if I'd wanted to, I couldn't have been unfaithful to him. He left me.
Critter, tell her that I won't listen to this any longer.
Poor Critter.
Nate, it's about the Archmage and Wilbur.
What? What about them?
The Archmage has been cursed and Wilbur's wanted for murder.
That's nonsense. That little guy wouldn't hurt a fly.
We have to help them.
I can't. I can drop you off in Elfborough if you like.
That would be a start. The spark of life is there. My father has it.
Yeah. Let's just go.
Are you sure you'll be able to find the elf burrow? Right, someone's going to have to go up to my father and ask him for the spark of life. Then we have to head off to find Lorem Ipsum. Hello?
I'm not going to help. That's your problem.
Well, I'm not over the moon about it either, but the Oracle did say that I needed friends in order to overcome the challenges that lie ahead of me.
Then I suggest you look for some. Farewell.
But you have to help me. I can't possibly meet Mother in this state. The gods only know what she'd do to me.
And quite rightly, too.
Oh, yeah? Then why don't you tell him yourself that you're going to desert him?
The frog?
That's Archmage Alistair. Didn't you listen to anything I said? And what about Wilbur?
I'm sorry. I can't. Oi, Critter! Come on! Just look what she's done. Critter!
Critter's like, no, Nate, you're wrong. I'm going. Yeah.
Critter! I knew that you wouldn't desert me. And that's good. Mother must under no circumstances see me like this.
I was informed of your arrival, Ivo.
Good luck, Ivo. Yeah, so at the very beginning of the game, well, not the very first scene was Nate in trouble, like he always is, okay? But the second scene was we were with Ivo. Apparently she and Wilbur and Nate and Critter had flown around in the Mary for a long time doing different things, having different adventures. And eventually they stopped at the Elfborough and they were spending time together. And Nate and Ivo, I mean, you know, not in so many words, but basically Nate and Ivo fell in love. But at some point, and we still don't know the reason why, but at some point, Nate just left with the Mary, his ship. Just left and went away, and Ivo was left alone. And so Ivo got all bitter and upset. She thought he abandoned her. Anyway, she apparently, Ivo herself, so Alistair is cursed as the frog, but apparently Ivo herself also has a curse. And the curse is making her pregnant. But it's like like in the Catholic Church, the Immaculate Conception. Like, she doesn't have, there's not actually a father as far as she knows. There's nobody she ever had relations with. She just is pregnant somehow. She doesn't know how. And so that's part of why she left the Elfborough in the first place, was to try to find some way. So she was going to talk to the Archmage Alistair, and ask him, can you figure out how the frick I'm pregnant, and what do I do to get rid of this? Because it's some kind of a curse. So how am I cursed, and how do I get rid of the curse so I'm not pregnant anymore? Okay? But, so in the mythology or whatever of this game, or in the world of this game, elves live for a really long time because within the confines of the Elfborough, they age very slowly. Everybody that's within the confines of the Elfborough lives for a very long time. But as soon as you go out into the real world, or into the outside world, outside of the Elfborough, you age much more quickly like other races do. And so she did not look pregnant at all when she was here at the Elfborough originally. Once she went out to Seastone to go talk to the Archmage and try to get her pregnancy handled, like get the curse removed or whatever, she started showing her belly really fast because she aged a lot more quickly. Favorite pregnancy. Yeah, geraniums. It's a kink. I know, okay. Sure. Anyway, so that's what's going on. That's why she's pregnant. She's pregnant, but not like through normal means. It's a curse. And she was going to try to ask the Archmage how to cure her, but before she got to him, the Archmage got turned into a frog. So we're trying to restore the Archmage. So from Ivo's perspective, we're trying to restore the Archmage so he can help her get rid of the curse of her, whatever it actually is inside of her. From Wilbur's perspective, we're trying to save the Archmage because it's the Archmage and it's a really good friend of his, and so he wants to do what he can to help out the Archmage because the Archmage helped him get a position at the School of Magic, for example, as a teacher. So, no, there's no way. Yeah, that would be weird and get gross, but no, there's no way. Because that brain guy, he's the Oracle. He has been in that room for forever, right? He's on that island where the pirates are, and the pirates, traditionally at least, have always brought him food and whatnot, and so he's there being taken care of by them. Although the red pirate in his little bag had the head of Medusa turned. That's why he had all those statues of pirates and stuff in that front area there, because apparently he'd been turning some pirates to stone. On purpose or not, don't know. But he'd been apparently turning some people to stone. So all the other pirates fled from there. So he's got the red pirate by himself, except he has like that monkey that works with him or whatever. And then the Oracle is in that other building. So, anyway, so that's kind of where all that is.
Oh, hello, Mother.
I've been worried, child.
Well, I'm so sorry about that. Perhaps you should have a lie down and we'll talk about everything in the morning.
What is the matter with you? Why don't you turn around?
I'm just so happy to be back home. I've missed this view.
Why on earth did you go running after that human? I told him that he was to keep away from you.
You did what?
What have you?
Well, I can explain.
Not necessary.
Oh, damn. She won't let Critter go in further and help either. Well, that sucks. Her mom
Helping
does not
her?
mess around.
Why should I? Just turns up and what the hell is taking so long? Critter, come on, it's time to go.
It's actually...
Mary and me like a bit of banter. She says I haven't got a clue about flying airships, and that we only stay in the air because she ignores my commands. Ha!
I mean, it's probably true, dude.
Hey, Mary.
Captain Nate?
What's our course, helmsman? Woman? Ship?
We are at anchor in the harbour and don't have a course.
Oh, play along. You know I like all that nautical stuff.
Course set 2456 degrees north-south, Captain.
Very good. Keep course.
Yes, sir, Captain.
All right. Let me know if there's a problem.
And then?
Mary's like, yeah, whatever, dude. Let's not pretend like you know anything that's going on.
The Red Pirate kept asking me again and again about his costumes when I was drinking with him. I didn't have the heart to tell him we used some of them as oil rags. A sailor's uniform with a hat and a duck beak made of card. Nope, they're not going to help me in the current situation. Provisions are low. If we sail around much longer, we'll have to get supplies from somewhere, or Critter will have to eat less. Tinned peaches. Oh, empty.
So you got an empty can. Wait, no.
A rabbit costume with a fluffy tail and ears to match. I'd have liked to have seen Ivo in that. Unfortunately, the Critter never wanted to hand it over.
The hell? Empty tin cans. Okay, I was gonna search this again, but I guess it did the wardrobe instead. Fine.
The Mary consumes huge amounts of coal for the oven, but primarily for the steam engine. The Miners' Guild promised to give me free coal for the Mary for the rest of my life at the end of the war. When I reminded them, a rather grim-faced dwarf said that the whole thing was meant to be symbolic. Many promises were made in the rush of victory and later not kept.
I think that's supposed to be the reference, right? Yeah, this game makes a lot of cultural references. Things that are pop culture of our world. And so it's very probable that's probably just Playboy. It's like there have been Harry Potter references, and there have been Dungeons and Dragons references, and there have been references to, I don't even know. A lot of different things.
Ivo tidied up here when we flew back from the Wildlands. At least that's what she called it. In reality, all she did was bring confusing order to my orderly disorder. Navigation isn't a complicated science. I choose a place on the map I'd like to fly to, then I tell the Mary the name of the place and she flies me there. I don't know why other people find it so difficult. I'm not flying off without Critter. Critter is my first mate, and the cook, and the lookout, and he shovels coal and helps me annoy the Mary. He's indispensable.
Oh, I wasn't being set a course. I didn't even read the text when I hovered over it and clicked. I just clicked to see if there was more to do, not set a course.
A pile of maps, diaries, travelogues and stuff. I was looking for things that promise eternal life. The Holy Grail, the Philosopher's Stone, the Fountain of Youth, that kind of thing. Harder to find than you'd think. That's why I had the idea with the djinn. At least I knew where to look for him.
Right, the Philosopher's Stone there, right? So, Harry Potter reference. Yep. Just barely made one even. Yep.
Wasn't there a book on lorem ipsum here? That's it. If I'd thought of it earlier, I could have given it to Ivo. I like looking for lost things and solving long-hidden secrets. It's not really honest piracy, but Critter and I just want to be treasure hunters.
Yeah, it is true. Nate never really was trying to be a pirate per se. I mean, he did steal things, but he wasn't trying to be a pirate so much as a treasure hunter. It's true. In the first game, right? That's why he showed up at that temple. He wanted to look for treasure. He wasn't trying to steal from like plunder and loot and things. He was just trying to look for treasure from old ruins and stuff.
I've seen alchemic lab benches and building sites with less stuff than this dressing table. Perfume atomizers, face powder, makeup? Nothing of any use at the moment.
Okay.
People always think that pirates don't care about their appearance. But that's not true. We're just as sensitive as everyone else when it comes to what we look like. You finally managed to get a good beard going. Then people say you looked better without.
Looks straight at us like he wants us to weigh in. I like your beard, 8. I think it looks good on you. That's still all the dressing table. Okay, so I guess nothing more there. There's probably not a whole lot more in here. I just wanted to check in case we were supposed to grab something before heading out. We did get the tin cans, which may or may not be used soon. Could be just down the road or something, too. Okay, I think that's it. Let's go out here. Hey. What's up, buddy?
Ivo's hippogriff doesn't seem very happy. Perhaps she's missing her rider. Or she's just hungry. Or both.
Almost like Chewbacca or something.
Go over into the garden. There are plants and fruit there if you're hungry. Don't fancy greens, huh?
Nah, she wants Ivo.
Go over into the garden. Don't fancy greens.
Yeah, she wants Ivan. She is formed a bond with her owner already.
The Mary was damaged recently, and I want to repair her. When I say recently, I mean about 2 years ago. But in my defense, I had to save the world in the meantime. I'll start the repairs tomorrow. But what can you do if there's a better use for the plank?
Okay, nothing else there.
As soon as I've picked up Critter, I'm out of here. Perhaps we'll fly to... whatever. We're free. We can fly to wherever we want. The Elf Burrow is one of the most beautiful spots imaginable. But a golden prison is still a prison.
Okay, it's just the wheel and the elf burrow there, nothing else beyond that.
The last time I used this thing, I blew a bounty hunter out of the sky. Nonetheless, Critter and I prefer to avoid a fight if we can and rely on our brains and good looks. When the Mary belonged to the Red Pirate, he didn't just use her for pleasure trips. They did some work now and again, as this cage proves.
Short for 2 millenniums in the future. What is short for that? I missed. What is that?
One of my goals in life is to never be a prisoner in my own cage again.
Yeah, Mazaz had him stuck in his own cage, right? For a time.
Some gnome engineers wanted to fine-tune Mary in appreciation of our victory against Mortroga. But Mary doesn't like gadgets, and I'm happy with her the way she is. When I first got the Mary, I understood absolutely nothing about her mechanics. Now I understand at least twice as much.
So still nothing. Perfect.
The Mary tried to teach me some knots. I think she likes passing on her knowledge to me. She said she'll try and teach pigs to fly next.
I think you misunderstood what she said. It's awesome. Oh, what is... We use the rope with something. What would we use the rope with? I don't know what we'd use the rope with yet, or like right now at this point. Let me save it. I try, maybe not always do it, but I try about-ish every 45 minutes to maybe an hour and 15 minutes or so to save the game so I don't, something happens, at least then I don't have a problem. Okay. Throw the rope overboard? Why?
Nope, I don't need to moor the Mary. She holds her position herself.
Yeah. Okay, what else? There's that. What if we'll use it in the future then instead? Okay, so at least now, I can't see anything I use the rope with. Okay, let's leave the ship for now. Hey, Silhouette, welcome.
Critter, what have you done now? Ivo's mother? Oh. Come on, let's get you out of there first. All right. Darn elven magic. Yes, I'll get help. Wait here.
Futura Luca. Oh, critter. You wisecracking crazy. Hatsura Luca to you two. Ball of string? Really?
No trace of arbor, but he left this ball of string lying here. Perhaps he was going to tie up bushes with it or something.
I was going to say, where'd the crafted arbor go?
Shorty won't mind, I think.
Shorty? Right.
I've never been very interested in plants, but there are things in this garden I've never seen anywhere else. Those two plants there, for example, it looks as though they're strangling one another.
I feel like they probably are. I think this one is going to kill this one off. Take its nutrients and stuff and make itself grow bigger. Although it is possible also, because there's a magical world and stuff, it is possible this one is like in love with this one and that it's trying to make a move on it or something. I don't know. There was something earlier in the game we did with that too, which was transplanting one of these plants. So I wonder if... I can't remember now. I feel like though one of them might have been actually like it needed to be by a plant of that, like this needed to be by a plant of this kind because this otherwise got too lonely or something. I don't remember now. It's been a few months, like a couple of months or something since we started playing this. So more than that, it's been all of January, all of December, all of November, because since Halloween. Well, no, half of November. Because I was gone for half of November. So, like 2.5 months. But I do feel like we're probably going to finish this within the next month or so. We'll probably finish this. Maybe. Depending on how quickly I do or don't figure puzzles out. I don't see anything else around here to look at or anything. Well, that's the Mary. They're going back to the Mary, yeah. The bee's nest, of course.
Critter attacked this beehive one night. He claims to this day that it was the sweetest triumph of his life. But it was 3 days before the swelling from the bee stings went down.
The sweetest triumph of his life. The crab critter. Why are you talking a random beehive? Okay, anyway. He probably felt like it made an aggressive move or something. Somehow misinterpreted the situation. Knowing Critter. Just didn't get it.
That's strange. When I was here last, that tree looked a lot happier. We waited for ages until Ivo's mother finally left the palace. Then it was pool time. Critter and me cannonballed in from the balcony. Ivo was torn between outrage and laughter.
Wisdom taught me to say that after I do literally anything, because if I get caught in a small enemies combo, even late game, I'm dead. True. The plant is there, so attack it. Is that what you're saying? Oh, no. The beehive. Yeah. It's there, so I should attack it automatically, of course. I mean, that stands to reason. That's just good sense. I was going to say, there's a...
At school, I had a teacher who hit us across the fingers with something like that when we were naughty. I stayed the full 2 weeks nonetheless. Education is the key to success.
The full 2 weeks. Wow. You're an educated man, dude.
People say the water has a healing effect. Perhaps I should take 1 or 2 barrels of it with me and sell it. We waited for ages until Ivo's... Then it was Critter and me cannon...
Okay.
According to Ivo, these are swords belonging to some of those who have tried to conquer the woodland realm. Nowadays, everyone knows it's better not to pick a fight with elves.
There we go. The Minecraft sword, of course.
During my time here, I sat in this library many times enjoying a good book. Not.
As I say, he doesn't strike me as the kind to like reading.
During my time here, Not.
Still more. This is books, even though it's over the cube, so don't do that. Monster.
Critter claims he doesn't know Ollie, but the family resemblance can't be denied.
I would say a couple of things. I would say knowing this game, probably, because they make so many references, they probably want to cover themselves legally. I would also say, well, not necessarily copyright, but if they, because they wouldn't get the copyright. They wouldn't ask for the copyright, but they would ask for a license to use copyrighted material. So they probably were granted permission through Microsoft, or if it was the earlier one, whatever the company was before Microsoft bought them. Anyway, and probably secured a license, which basically it's basically a contract. So, like, if they contact them and then they buy a license, they basically have a contract with Minecraft to say, we're allowed to use your symbol, we pay you this much money, and now we can use your symbol in this way for this amount of content within our game. And they get kind of complex and specifics, like it can only, like in this case, it could only be in this one room, in this scene, nowhere else in the game. Characters couldn't have it in their inventory. Like, it'd be very limited to just this one spot, things like that. Or not, depending on what they got. But, you know, that's because those are the kind of things that would be covered by a license agreement. It's kind of like when you get a PlayStation or an Xbox or something, right? You have a license agreement. You are saying, I'm going to use this in this way and for these purposes only. And when you get software, you have a software license agreement, right? I agree that these things are what the software is going to do with my machine, and then I'm okay with that, and right? Same idea, except they say, we're going to put your symbol or some of your content or something in our game, and by so doing, we secure the right to do that by buying a license. You understand the concept, of course. Companion Cube, Minecraft Sword, Monsters Inc., Dungeons and Dragons, Rubik's Cube games. Yep. Yeah, like I said. Also, there is... that was the second point I was going to make. Is so they might have obtained licenses for a lot of the stuff to protect themselves. I would not doubt that in the slightest. The other thing to keep in mind, though, is there is something... And this you hear about this probably a lot with things like YouTube. But there is something called fair use, which isn't just a YouTube thing. Fair use is a doctrine, a legal doctrine, so a concept or an idea in the legal realm, that you are permitted to use other people's content in very limited ways for very specific purposes. So if I was going to report on a sporting event, I could use very limited amounts of the footage from from one of the network television's stations or whatever. I could use very limited amount of footage to show clips from the game so that I could do the reports, the news report of what happened with that, right? So that's one way fair use. There are things like what this game does, parodies or satires, where you can reference something by name and by icon, like the Minecraft sword or the Rubik's Cube or something. You can use those in a way that parodies it. So, in other words, you're not actually going to use the sword to go fight. It's not a primary weapon in the game or whatever, so it doesn't require any special permissions. As long as the amount... So what they do is they say, one of the parts of the doctrine is that it has to be transformative in nature. So in this case, if you have the Minecraft sword, but you don't say it's Minecraft sword, you don't say it's a pixelated whatever, you basically just say, just have it on a rack with a bunch of swords. That's transformative. You're just saying it's one of many different kinds of swords that were used in the past in this world. Monsters Inc., it was a gift in this case. It was a gift sent to the elves. They don't say anything about what it's called or anything, right? So again, that's very transformative, very limited use. Does not reference the movie, does not reference the name of the monster, doesn't do any of that stuff, right? So anyway, so within reason, certain things can be used without permission. Technically, by law, they can be used without permission. Just because you have significantly modified it from its original purpose and its original description and its original, anyway, you get the idea. So, yep. But they probably, in cases where fair use would not have applied, and they probably have their own lawyers look into it and understand, in cases where fair use does not apply, then they would have secured licenses for some of the stuff. Something like Rubik's Cube, even though it is copyrighted technically, it's so common of a public icon that I don't even know if Rubik's Cube could technically say anything against them. Like, you can't use our Rubik's Cube in your game. I don't know if actually they can even legally have ground to stand on. That's become such a cultural, or such a solid part of modern culture. It's so common that I don't really think... It's sort of like if people are using bandages in, let's say, this wasn't the case, but let's say like in a game, like a more modern setting game, or postmodern, like The Last of Us or something, if you use a bandage, okay, if you call that bandage a Band-Aid, I don't know that you really have much of a case to sue over using the name because it's just a common thing. Now, well, no, that's not true. You could use the way it looks, like the elastic, the plastic or whatever, and the adhesive, and with the little bandage in the middle and stuff. You could use that design, and that's okay. You don't need to get any special permission for that because there are knockoff brands that do that. If you're actually going to use the name Band-Aid, you could run into legal trouble potentially because it is a brand name. And so without their permission, you could get sued over that. Like if they, but again, you can get licenses, you can secure written permission without even having to pay anything sometimes. So I'm sure they did all their diligence for all this kind of stuff. You have you also, unless I missed, you also forgot to point out the 3 dragon eggs here, which are of course Game of Thrones. They're Daenerys's dragons, right? So dragon eggs. So anyway. Oh, one last sword. Okay, yeah, let me flip it one more time. Yep. This is final no, not this one. Here. This, right, is what's that game? Is it Final Fantasy? No, right? It's another Japanese game though, right? I think. I don't remember. Anyway, but I totally recognize this sword. I just can't remember where it's from. Yep. Okay, so back to the matter at hand. I don't want to go to Ivo's room yet. Let me see. Okay, did I click that?
Ollie used to be a bookmaker. Got involved with the wrong people. Ivo says I just make all this up.
So his name used to be Ollie, huh? I see. Dragon's head. Yep.
I've only had dealings with a dragon once. The dear thing wasn't really all there, and completely harmless.
It's definitely a D&D red dragon.
I've never really understood why it's all right to cut off dragons' heads. Dragons are rational beings, not a nice tradition.
Yeah. Okay. It's over on this side. None of this stuff. Some of this was accessible when we were Ivo here, but not as Nate. He doesn't apparently look at any of that. Some of that stuff he doesn't care about.
I nearly got arrested once because of a flower like that. I didn't know why they're forbidden almost everywhere, until I heard someone playing one for the first time.
So you're saying the music is what makes the flower not allowed? All right. I guess that's maybe a thing. Leprechaun hat.
The king and queen keep gifts given to them by delegations from far-off lands in this room. Some of them are rather bizarre. The top hat might have been a present from a kobold delegation, although it's a bit too big for that. The top hat might have...
Yeah, okay, not really. No, that's books. See, not even the helmet, that's books still. Okay, I guess we're done in here, so let's go to Ivo's room. I suppose. Final Fantasy VII, okay.
I couldn't allow him to propose to you. What sort of life would you have? You'd have lost him so soon, maybe just 50 years after marrying him. Or were you planning to go into the world with him and get old just like him? That would be terrible, and I told him as much. If one truly loves someone, then it's sometimes better to let them go. You know that I can be very convincing. The human spirit is weak. And perhaps there was a tiny bit of magic involved too. If only I'd known that it was already too late.
That darn witch! It all sounded so right. I was already across the sea when it became clear to me that I might have made the biggest mistake of my life. No wonder Ivo hates me. Her mother must never have told her what happened, or she blamed me for everything.
I guess we definitely don't want to go to the room, because that's where the mom is. With Ivo. Okay. Let's go the other way then. Oh, I have this also. Let's see. Read, string. Am I going to be combining any of this stuff? No, not yet, right? Oh, string with the reed. With the reed.
Fishing
sure.
rod? Nah, too obvious. A fishing rod? Nah.
Okay. So not yet. Oh, I've got this.
I remember that from my childhood.
Telephone.
You connect the cans with a string and can talk to someone across several meters, just like you could without the cans.
He's like, what's the point? Yeah, it's kind of true. I mean, obviously, that concept is what enabled the technology later that we now have as the basis for just telephones in general, right? Well, not exactly, but kind of. It got us to cell phones, right? Because it got us to telephones, which were based directly on that technology. And then the concept of a telephone merged with the concept of a computer and gave us cell phones. So, guess there's nothing else out here. Let's try going to the throne room, yeah. Because she's over busy with the mom. Or the mom's, I should say, over busy in Ivo's bedroom. So she's not actually going to be up here.
The Queen must have ordered the sentries to let the Mary pass. So long as she doesn't give any orders to the contrary, we should be able to enter and leave the Woodland Realm at any time.
Okay. Well, thanks, Cosmic. I will. Thanks, man. Appreciate you stopping by, man. Good to see you. Stop in anytime you're able and you want to. Talk to you later, man. Have a good night. Or good morning, I guess.
I think Ivo has never really got on with her mother, but she has always respected her. Her mother is very hard-working, very conscientious, very clever, but I think Ivo would have liked a bit more affection and warmth from her.
It's kind of what Ivo was saying in her part when she was here. Not in so many words, but she was kind of like just... She always was frustrated that because mom always was like down to business. You need to marry an elven prince to, you know, start your family and to make, you know, undertake your future for the good of the kingdom and whatever kind of stuff, right? So very, very business oriented. Whereas Ivo was more like emotional about things. Not that the mom doesn't have emotions. I mean, she's married to Ivo's dad here, over here, so she obviously has emotions, just, you know, in certain areas, and they're considerably restrained at certain times.
When your girlfriend's mother is an elf priestess, and you want to make a good impression, you shouldn't call this a swimming pool in front of her. But I meant it in a good way. I even invited her and Ivo's father to join us.
Swimming pool? Dude. I mean, I guess in this world they wouldn't necessarily know. But anybody who knows anything about elven culture, even like variations on the idea, know that things like water and certain plants and earth and things are very sacred in their realm. You don't just like call it something commonplace. And anyway, that's funny.
I had to listen to a quite long and, to be honest, slightly hostile lecture about this being a holy moon well. But what if your sweaty feet are longing for a cool down after a long day? What do you do then? My good arguments were ignored.
Well, you don't use the moon well, basically. You go down below to where some of the runoff is. I mean, there is the pool down below with the reeds growing in it and stuff. Maybe you use that instead. Or maybe you just get some water, put it in a bowl, and you put your feet in the bowl. I don't know.
I had to listen to but what my good...
Yeah, okay. Smash the like button. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, everybody smash the like button. Okay. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Have a good night. Good day. Okay. Woodland Realm? Oh, so not the throne.
I don't know if I'd have been happy here with Ivo. His place is beautiful, of course, but nothing changes, or only unbelievably slowly. And who would want to live in his parents-in-law's house where time practically stands still? One day, Ivo's child will rule over all of this. I'll be long dead by then. It might have never heard of me.
Yeah, that's the whole Lord of the Rings theme, right? Where Arwen would potentially linger on long after Aragorn passed. Yep. That would be a problem. So you get a similar kind of thing with different mythologies too, of course, with vampires, the Highlander mythology, things like that too. Yeah, these places where people just live for a really long time, right? And others around them don't.
The tree is legendary. I knew of it long before I met Ivo. The Tree of Life, as it's called, is attributed all kinds of powers. I was a little bit disappointed when I saw it for the first time. To me, it looks like a completely normal, tall tree.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, that is looking at it from a particular perspective, which is our normal, typical human perspective, right? If you think about it, when you have, let's say, like, if you are married and you've been married for 30, 40, 50 years and your loved one passes, you have this hole left behind from their departure, right? And it's in two ways. One, you miss them terribly and certain things remind you about them, right? And so it's hard in that way, of course. And then two, there's a loneliness. Like if it's just been, like if you've had, like you and your wife or you and your husband, if you're a girl, have been married for that long, and let's say you've had kids and all of your children have moved out of the house, and then it's just the two of you, then maybe for the next 10, 20 years or so, it's just the two of you all the time, right? Could be longer. If you're 40, like if you had your kids when you were 20, around 20, you'd be 40 when they would move out and get on with their lives, right? So then you'd have another, potentially, depending on how many kids you had, let's say you had 3 kids, and so you had a 10-year span. So let's say you're 50. Okay. Well, 50, you live to like you're 70 or 80. That's 20, 30 years, right? Of being on your own. Well, 20, 30 years being on your own means that you really get used to being just the two of you, right? So when one of you dies, now you're incredibly lonely. You still have your kids, and you still communicate it with them, maybe like through email or through cell phone or whatever, right? Or maybe some kind of like FaceTime or Skype or Zoom or something along those lines, right? But my point in all that is, it's not the same. You still have this loneliness because there's not somebody always with you, right? So then you want to fill that loneliness with somebody else. So while there is the perspective, if you live a really long time, it is hard to see people go. But I think the greater challenge is that loneliness that persists afterward, right? So it depends on your personality, of course, but for a lot of people, I would think there would be the desire to relatively, maybe not too quickly, but relatively quickly, find somebody new you could spend time with, because then you would no longer be lonely and you would be with them for however long they lived. And then if they died, then you would relatively quickly find another person, right? So you would have all these people, all these wonderful experiences with all these people over time. And yes, you'd miss them terribly for a little bit after they passed. But over, a couple of years or longer, if you've been together a really long time, maybe 10, 15 years still, you would at some point have healed as much as you're going to from their loss. And then you have that loneliness you're trying to fill the gap of, right? So then you'd find somebody new. So this whole idea of, I never want to love again because it's too painful to lose somebody. Well, I mean, that's looking at it from our limited perspective of generally, most of the time, when you have that kind of situation, most humans, not all, there's some accidents and things that can happen, but most of the time, humans are old when their loved one passes, which means that they don't have all that long left themselves anyway. But if you got centuries still or something, wouldn't you want to find somebody to fill that emptiness? I would think so. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah. Unless you're an elf, you can just clock them up. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that's just my ruminations on that. But that's kind of my perspective. I just feel like I understand the whole, I don't want to love somebody else because it hurts too much. But that's discounting the fact that you also probably get incredibly lonely if you're not used to living on your own, right? So,
not many mortals have seen the Tree of Life, and those that have were crowned heads or wise men. I've even sat in its shade next to the king and shared 1 or 2 bottles of apple wine with him. I mean, with the king.
That's cool. The garden, but let's not do that. Okay, so I guess I'm going to talk to the king.
Bob is still sitting where I left him months ago. Of course, he's not really called Bob, but his elven name is too complicated and long to remember. And he likes Bob.
Talk to Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Nate, my boy, what are you doing here?
I rescued Ivo from Tugator, the flying pirate island, and brought her back here, more or less.
Oh, so you're getting on well again.
It's too late for that. Trust me.
It is never too late for that. Trust me.
Yeah, listen to the king, dude.
Your wife has hexed Ivo, an imprisoned critter. I'll free both of them, and
I would counsel you to patience, my impetuous friend. What has happened?
The queen found Ivo in the garden. She's pregnant. Did you know that?
I hope that you are speaking of Ivo and not my wife. Of course I knew.
She's put Ivo into a kind of deep sleep.
Theodora knows wise decisions take time. It isn't a simple sleep. It's a kind of time out. For Ivo, time is standing still until her mother brings her back.
And when will that be?
As soon as she knows how she's going to deal with the situation. That could take months, or even years.
Years? She's got no right to do that. We have to bring Ivo back.
Just like the polecat butters the bread of the barn owl.
What? The polecat butters the bread of the barn. So, you're saying that the polecat is the food of the owl, so the owl's patient to watch the polecat before it takes it down? I'm not sure I'm following the metaphor fully, but okay.
I eavesdropped on the queen. She never told Ivo what happened, right?
What happened? You just disappeared one night.
It was all your wife's fault. She hexed me. I was going to propose to Ivo. The queen intercepted me and whispered something in my ear.
Her words would have just washed over you had they not found something which they were able to catch hold of.
I thought long and hard about whether I should propose to Ivo. I loved her, but I also loved my freedom.
Gods and the wise call that getting cold feet.
So she could manipulate me because of my feet?
She magnified your doubts and let you lose sight of what was really important, your love for Ivo.
But I didn't want her to have to watch me die. And I certainly didn't want her to come with me out into the world and grow old and die herself.
Would it have not been up to my daughter what sacrifices she would be willing to make for you? She is, after all, the more intelligent one.
It's true. Nate is not as intelligent as Ivo. Not even close. That's great.
How can we wake Ivo up?
Without the help of her mother, impossible.
Then we'll have to force her. She can't keep Ivo imprisoned against her will.
You won't have any luck. Fiora will defend her daughter. She thinks she's doing the right thing. But if you can make her see that she was not acting in Ivo's best interests, then I'm sure she would let her go.
I should talk to her?
Oh, you'd be dead before you'd stuttered out your first sentence.
Hey! After I left the Elfborough, my head still told me I'd done the right thing. I wouldn't condemn Ivo to a life with me, and a goodbye would have been too painful for both of us.
But your heart told you that you were a fool.
Later, I thought I'd found a solution. I'd find a way to live forever. Then I could marry Ivo and we'd never be separated.
Your heart was right. You are a fool.
It's like every other thing the king says in response is a dig at Nate subtly. Or not subtly, as the case may be.
Well, Archmage Alistair's been turned into a frog. By a certain Van Buren, some little brat who's running through Seastone and transforming everything.
A little girl transformed the Archmage?
Yes. No idea how she managed it. Ivo said something about Wilbur's wand. And he's in the Dark Woods looking for a book that explains how it can be destroyed. In the meantime, Ivo wanted to organize a few things needed to bring the Archmage back.
What sort of things?
Some book from Lorem Ipsum.
The Book of the Dead?
Yep, that was the one. Then we need a compass that belongs to the Red Pirate, and something called the Spark of Life. That's why she came back here.
I see. It's crucial we turn Alistair back quickly. He might have answers.
Answers? To which questions?
Something is stirring. A great evil. I have felt it for a while now.
The little brat with the wand?
No. Something older, greater, and a great danger for you, for Ivo, for everyone.
That doesn't sound good. But I wouldn't even know where to start. Ivo didn't tell me very much. Or perhaps I didn't listen.
I have the spark of life here. I will give it to my daughter as soon as she wakes. I can't help you with the compass, though. But I saw the lost city of Lorem Ipsum with my own eyes, oh, long, long ago.
If I were to look for Lorem Ipsum, where would I find the ruins of the city?
Under the sands of the Umzu Desert.
Oh, really? Could you be a bit more precise? The desert's pretty big.
I can't remember the exact location. I set out from the Bremen oasis, went into the desert, and just followed my nose. After a few days, I saw the golden roofs of the town glinting in the sun as it set behind them.
So Lorem Ipsum is west of Bremen. But how far into the desert? How many days did you walk, and how quickly?
It was 3,500 years ago. What did you do last Thursday?
West of Bremen. That's a start.
Gotcha. Yeah, very wise words. That's right. Yeah, the funny thing is, right, they did a really good job with writing for him, his dialogue, because he comes off as very eccentric, right? Very kind of quirky and interesting and kind of goofy in a way. But he obviously, with the answers he gives, he is obviously very powerful. He's very intelligent, he's very wise, and he is very experienced. I mean, if he's wandering around finding his way to ancient ruined cities and stuff, or lost cities, that's not an easy thing to do, I wouldn't think.
Ivo seems to have coped well with me leaving her. Seems to have been in a rush to find herself an elven prince.
No, she didn't take it well. She was hurt and disappointed. And no, she didn't throw herself around the neck of any elf prince.
I don't even want to know. I'd always loved her, but it seemed to have been quite one-sided. Your wife trapped Critter in the garden. Some thorny tendrils grew out of the ground, imprisoning him.
Oh, an old trick that all priests have up their sleeve.
So novices couldn't sneak out of rituals early, eh?
But the tendrils are very ticklish, especially under the arms.
They... all right, then.
Under the arms? How... Aren't the tendrils the arms, basically? What are the arms of the tendrils? Okay, we'll find out, I guess.
I found this text about lorem ipsum, written in a foreign language.
I don't understand that language. I only understand the language of nature. And English for some strange reason.
Take care, Bob. I'll see what I can do to help Ivo and Alistair, or if I can.
I see a man with a mission of great importance that he would like to complete.
Like? All that work? All that danger? The stress? You've got the same attitudes towards stress as I have.
I can see through you, Nate. You made your decision long ago. You just haven't realized it. To do good. Be part of something bigger. Help others. We all need goals in our lives. And the greater the goal, the greater the reward.
I don't know what you're talking about, old man.
Okay, so we need to tickle, apparently, the tendrils. Normally I'd think a feather or something, but we don't have that, so I don't know what we'll use. But I guess we can go try something and see.
Tickle, tickle, tickle. No problem. Now you go and wait on the Mary, okay?
Futura, Luca. Okay, we freed Critter. We need to go find Ipsum Lorem, Lorem Ipsum, I should say, which is away from here. Do we just, I guess we just go? Can't think of anything else. We pretty much examined everything in the library, which is super small, of course, compared to any library. Like, in almost all... I mean, I have more books in my library behind me, so... and that's not all, of course. There's some across, but I'm just saying. Already got to read from here. Look, and we've already done the description from here. I looked through all of the... As far as I can tell, all the stuff out here... I guess we just go to the city for now. I can switch to Critter, so I guess we could do that and have him look at stuff and see if he can do anything.
Godzilla.
Couldn't. Godzilla. The noises he makes are awesome. How would that be? Your whole I mean, we have them in obviously in other languages like English or Finnish or Spanish or anything, right? But how would it be if your whole not all, but a huge part of your language, like 50% of your language is just sound effects. Like that. Like that. He just makes like the noise of the hippogriff and then says whatever he said afterward, the name of it, like the name of hippogriff, like the word for hippogriff in his language, or something about the name of the actual hippogriff or whatever. Yeah, it's sad. Baby's sad because mama's gone. That's Elfborough again. Cast off, but I was going to see anything around first. Doing that, throwing it overboard would be to cast off. Let's not do that yet. Let's see.
What's up? I don't know. That woman drives me crazy. Why do two great guys like us have such bad luck with our girlfriends?
Yeah, he remembered Layla. He's like, nah, same thing with Layla. I can't be with her either.
Yeah, all right. I'll take over.
Oh, that swap places? Oh, hang on. No, let's go back. Hang on. Okay. And then the other one I think is just never mind or whatever. Okay, Nate said to go on board the Mary, so I don't think we want to get off the ship. I don't think it'll be anything bad, but I'm assuming that means there's nothing to do off the ship. Let's see if there's anything below decks really fast. Below decks? There's only one deck. Anyway, below deck. Like, probably, like, the burning thing or something. Something that is hot. So the mirror's the same thing. Good.
Box.
Chest is box. Of course it is.
Mary.
Hello, Critter. Everything okay with you and Captain Nate? That's good. You just look after him for me, won't you? It always worries me when he tries to act the hero.
So Mary apparently can completely understand Critter also. That's cool. So Nate and Mary, and actually it looks like Ivo now also. All three of them seem to understand Critter. She didn't talk with him a lot, but when Ivo talked with Critter, she pretty much seemed to know exactly what he was talking about too when he said stuff. So that's cool. I suppose if you're with him long enough, you learn how to communicate if you don't know initially, right? So it's kind of like Han with Chewbacca, right? You just kind of learn. You learn what means, right? I've never been able to do a Chewbacca voice. I don't care. Okay. Yeah, I think just cast off at this point. Oh, hang I don't think so, but because there are occasionally glitches in the game, I'm going to do this to make sure I don't irreparably break the game so I can't continue. Okay. Now we'll cast off. Oh. Oh, you have to do Nate, and we also have to drop the rope.
Nope, I don't need to moor the Mary.
Oh, that's to moor it. Right, not cast off. Right. We would have the rope already hooked up to us. I knew that. Okay, yeah. Makes sense.
Away we go.
Yeah, okay.
I met Critter in the Northlands. Nice people up there. Penguins, mainly. Wilbur comes from around there. Mainly just dwarves and gnomes live there. The White Ridge Mountains are too cold for humans.
That's Elfborough. We're already there. That's back. Tugator, that's where we just came from, though. Seastone.
After everything Ivo told me, Seastone is a no-go at the moment. Better that we're not seen there without the Archmage.
Yeah.
His human version, I mean.
Bam, 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 bam. Look at the Umzu Desert, or Umzu Desert. Let's see, what else? What is Black Tower?
The Wildlands aren't that wild anymore since the Earth Gnomes took over the Archwitch's tower. But there's still a lot of evil vermin lurking around in the surrounding countries.
Okay, so I guess pretty much all of this here is the Umzu Desert. Okay.
That's the desert where Lorem Ipsum must be. Wait a minute. I must have a more detailed map of the area somewhere here.
Is that just the only one is Bremen or mountains?
The Umzu Desert isn't all sand. There are stony mountains, gorges, and salt lakes. The one thing they have in common is that it's darn hot.
So obviously I know this. I'm just seeing if there's anything else. There does not look like there's anything other than Bremen for the other stuff. Okay.
That's the old oasis of Bremen. Ivo's father set off westwards from this town and reached Lorem Ipsum at some point. The problem is, I don't know how far west of Bremen the ruins are. The area is large, and if I'm unlucky, the ruins are completely covered in sand. I have to reduce the search area somehow.
Yeah, I'm gonna go use the restroom. I'll be back in about 5 minutes, I think. Alright, sorry about that. So I have to figure a way to narrow down the distance, huh? Okay, I don't know how to do that. Read?
That's the old oasis of Bremen. Ivos, the area is large.
No, yeah, I didn't think so, but... Oh.
A notebook with some notes on the lost city of Lorem Ipsum. What's this? The author seems to assign great meaning to these hieroglyphs. If only I could read them. Why didn't the people back then just write under the pictures what they were supposed to mean?
Because they did. You just don't understand it.
The author of this diary never found the city, so I don't know if this picture of the city is born of his fantasy or if it's based on descriptions. Even if the city did once look like this, it perished thousands of years ago. There's surely nothing left but a few ruins. What are the chances that the Book of the Dead has survived? This is the famous travelogue that reports on the city Lorem Ipsum in a forgotten language. Scholars claim it speaks of life in the city and of huge wealth, the main reason that this text is so well known all around the world. Lorem Ipsum dolor sit emet, consectatur adipisci elit, sed eismod tempor insidunt ut labor et dolora magna aliqua, ut enim ad minim veniam quis nostrud exercitation ulamco laboris nisi ut aliquid ex ei commodi consequat, and so on. For me, this is just a string of meaningless words. This is the famous travelogue that reports on the city Lorem Ipsum in a forgotten language. Scholars claim it speaks of life in the city and of huge wealth, the main reason that this text is so well known all around the world. Lorem ut and...
It's just going to do that. Okay. Anything in there is going to help. So, and Bob doesn't know the language. We don't have... So what are my other options? There was
Away we
somewhere else
go.
I could go. We're not going back to Tugator, right? What? And we don't want to go there. We're at the Elf Burrow. I mean, we didn't technically get the charges dismissed. We just had the Red Pirate freak out, right? So I don't think going back to Tugator makes sense. Could, but I don't think so. Whoops.
Stop this thing!
Nope, me neither. I think we all know who's responsible for that.
Put it up!
Wait, so what did he say?
Away we go.
I was trying to get it to click, and then I ended up double clicking because it wasn't responding initially.
Only the best captains are already in the right place before they set off. Cast off.
Oh, I see. So we did actually travel. I see. That was when we arrived. Are we gonna have to do
Away we go.
thing for the Oracle again?
Cast off.
Maybe. Alright.
Nope, I don't need to moor the Mary. She holds her position herself.
That's right. That's right.
Give me the damned elf immediately!
There's no damned elf here. Get lost.
An unhealthy, artificial-looking, oversweet, fatty parody of a foodstuff. Wonderful.
Hey, what are you doing there?
I'm, admiring the fine delicacies.
Those aren't for you. They're for my guests. If you want to take part, I'm gonna have to make you pretty first.
No, that's all right. I'll keep my hands off your guest's food.
I thought we were going to Tortuga, and we ended up here. Apparently, I click Seastone. I am not paying attention to where I click on the map, apparently. Okay.
It's a powerful kid's magic that can force grown men to sit at tiny tables and pretend they like tea. Fortunately, I'm immune. That's wrong. Impressive, but wrong. It looks like the old hag doesn't dare venture into the palace. Not a bad idea considering the toys the Red Pirates got in there.
Oh, no. Oh, I see. We are in Tortuga. And she started transforming Tortuga. Wow. That's what's
It
up.
looks like the old hag. That's some transformation. There must be powerful magic at work.
I didn't realize it was going to spread that fast. Dang.
That's the third biggest flower I've ever seen. The flower is too pretty and smells too good to just be left alone.
As long as she doesn't see it, I guess. All this pretty stuff does not. That's just the stack of treats.
When Ivo told me about Seastone, I could hardly believe it. Even if the power of the brat's sorcerer grandpa is concentrated in the wand, where did he get all the power from? I'd better not speak to her. She could turn me into a small, hairy, pink critter in the blink of an eye. And who would want something like that hanging around? Lady Van Buren, I assume.
Yes? Who are you? What do you want?
My name is Wayne Schlegel from the Seastone Life and Accident Insurance Company.
What do you want here?
There was an accident here. A pirate lost an eye. Now he has to wear a wooden leg. There was clearly a problem in processing the claim.
There's no one here anymore. Apart from that damned red pirate and the elf he's hiding.
Elf? What elf?
A thieving elf! She robbed me while I had to deal with the rest of her kind.
You've been to Elfborough? I heard it's supposed to be very pretty at this time of year.
We couldn't get in. Protective charms that not even my little darling could do anything about.
What a shame.
And then I go back home and find I've been robbed by that damned elf and her mob. They will suffer the consequences.
And you're sure the elf's here?
Of course. She flew here from Seastone on a magic hippogriff. We followed her trail to here, and there are no indications that the hippogriff has flown on.
You seem to have considerable magical power at your command, madam. Why don't you just magic the elf out of there?
If it were really so simple, do you really think I'd be wasting my precious time here? That red scoundrel threatened us! Us! He has a magic weapon in there! Ancient, divine magic which even my Chantal can't do anything against.
Perhaps I could go in there and talk to the Red Pirate. I'm an insurance salesman. No one would dare do anything to an insurance salesman.
That's true. And every hour that I waste here prevents me from taking care of the transformation of the country. Go in. Convince that old scoundrel.
What you've done with this island is very impressive, Lady Van Buren. Just like in Seastone, you and your daughter are a real asset to this land.
Thank you very much. Politicians so seldom receive the thanks that's due to them. One works tirelessly for years on end for oneself and one's friends, and do the electorate thank you for it? No.
Sad. Very sad. Then I may take my leave, Lady Van Buren?
Yes, yes.
One works tirelessly for oneself and one's friends, and the electorate, all the other people, don't thank us properly for it. Okay, then. Sounds like a politician.
Stop! Stop right there!
Whoa, whoa, easy does it. Put that thing away.
Nate? Have you seen what they've done to my island?
Let me guess. You've redecorated, so the pirates that fled come back.
Oh, it was that little brat and her mother. Turned up here saying I should hand over the elf.
And you explained politely that the elf is no longer here and that unfortunately you can, as such, be of no help.
I kicked them out. Then they started transforming my island. They would have got me too if I didn't have the head.
I see you were at least able to rescue the statues.
Statues? They're my friends. Tell him. Friends? I brought them in here long before them witches came. A man shouldn't be alone. Isn't that right, Martha? Right.
Yeah. I've even heard of people who went mad because they had no one to talk to.
Can't happen to me. I've got friends, and things are on the up. Friends?
Van Buren's convinced that Ivo's still here. I'm supposed to persuade you to hand her over.
I'd do that at a drop of a hat. That elf is in league with dark forces. She was trying to drive me crazy. Do you hear what she said about the invisible force that determines what we do?
Van Buren isn't going to believe that Ivo's not here.
You've got to get that old bag off my island, Nate. You have to.
I'm here because I need the spirit compass.
What? Not because you missed my company?
And because I've missed your company, but mainly the compass. A friend of mine won't find their way out of the realm of the dead without it.
I don't care about that. It's my compass. Right, Pierre? Right. You see?
The bird is both Lucy and Pierre, apparently. Pretty much anybody that probably any of these pirates that he thinks he's talking to, the bird squawks in and pretends to be them, I guess.
How about I get Van Buren off the island, and in return you lend me the compass? You'll get it back in one piece.
You get rid of them both, mother and daughter.
That's the deal.
William, what do you say?
It's stew today!
Ah, good old Bill. All you ever think of is food. All right, Nate.
Stew today,
If
huh?
you get those two monstrosities off my island, I'll lend you the compass for a day.
Deal.
Deal!
Our deal stands?
Aye, you chase those two horrors off my island, and I'll lend you the spirit compass.
That's what I wanted to hear. I've got to go.
See you later.
See you later!
Perhaps Old Red's friends can persuade him to give me the compass.
Move the statue bit by bit? I don't know about that. Let me try.
I'd better not. Old Red would notice if I moved the statue.
I was gonna say. It seems like a bad idea. I thought even if he managed it, I was envisioning the monkey pulls the pistol on him, which is obviously bad news for us.
Those aren't really friends of the Red Pirate. If they were, they'd have drawn his attention to the fact that he's completely lost his mind. I knew William. He doesn't talk as much now he's a statue, and he doesn't suffer from BO anymore. The bird doesn't sound anything like William. But if Old Red can accept that William is now a statue, he's hardly going to care about his new voice. I knew William.
Yeah, so that's probably an important clue. If we somehow, maybe if Nate brings Critter down here at some point, and Critter says something, or if Nate mimics a voice, then maybe it sounds like William or whatever is talking, and then go from there.
Huh, the poor bird looks quite stressed out. I would be too if I was the one-man entertainer for a lunatic with a Medusa head. The Spirit Compass. It can show the Archmage the way out of the spirit world. Few books are consulted for words of wisdom as often as this one, but I think they rarely help.
Is this somebody else that was turned to stone, or was this actually? This looks a little bit different than these others in shade and stuff. So I feel like this probably is an actual statue that was here prior to everybody turning to stone. Okay.
The ape has got nothing to match the Van Buren's magic, but he could easily take me out if I try to steal the compass. The ape has got, but he...
That is one thing I like about these games also. They have the music, and the music is great. They also will, here and there, they'll pause and have no music for a bit. And then the music will come back in. So it makes the music less likely to get too repetitive for the player. I think it's a smart move.
Just one more piece! Just one more little piece and you've done it!
Hey, Eyes!
Nate, nice to see you again.
Come on. Knowing you, you never lost sight of me.
Your life wasn't so boring over the past few years, I must admit. Good season.
I half expected to find you transformed into a huge ball of fluff with big goggle eyes.
The council leader and the charming Chantal are concentrating their attention on the palace. Fortunately.
I guess you also want her off the island as quickly as possible.
Absolutely. I like tragedies, but I've never wanted to be in one.
You know why I'm here?
Of course, Princess Ivo. Oh, look at her. Isn't it sad? An elf in the prime of her life, sleeping away her best years.
I'm going to prevent that from happening.
And I hope you're successful. This is more boring than watching the cricket.
Ivo's father said I can't rescue Ivo against her mother's will.
That would be a bad idea. Although I'd like to see what would happen if you tried.
So how can I convince Ivo's mother that she's not acting in her daughter's best interests?
Isn't she? The future's in constant flux. Even I can't see it clearly in my mirrors. A powerful priestess like her might be able to see more, but clearly she doesn't want to.
She thinks Ivo's thrown her life away, and she thinks it's impossible that she could be happy with a child, or with me.
A difficult task that you do. Come on, number 3! Run! Come on! Yes! Sundancer won!
Ivo's pregnancy. Do you know who... you know...
Ivo said you weren't the father, but if not you, who?
I'm not the Oracle with 100 eyes. How should I know who it is?
Eyes that are blind if there's no reflective surface nearby. Ivo seemed very surprised by the news herself. She spoke of a curse that might have struck her.
A curse? Yeah, sure. Can I have that mirror?
Of course not!
I could always keep an eye on Ivo with it, and maybe it'll come in useful some other way.
It's already useful. It means I can see what happens next in the story. Anyway, I've never given any of my mirrors away. They are rare collector's items.
You collect mirrors? Rewind, delete, stupid question.
He's like, no, forget I asked.
Can I have that mirror?
Of course not!
I could always keep an eye on Ivo.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, okay. I didn't realize it was going to be the same dialogue. Yep, okay.
I gotta go.
Yes, go! Henceforth!
Some happy children playing in a garden. Ivo's mother refuses to believe that Ivo's children could have a happy future too. Who cares if the future queen has an illegitimate child? Well, apart from me. Some mirrors show different scenes the whole time, others always show the same.
The connection between two mirrors is sometimes stronger and sometimes weaker. This one here has a particularly strong connection to the mirror in Ivo's room. Just look how clear the picture is.
Thousands of lives are taking place behind these mirrors. Tragedies, comedies, and quite a lot of everyday life.
Take the mirror, even if we can at some point. Maybe we can, but even if we can at some point, it's not going to be so easy just to grab, right? He sees all these features. Like, you would know that we're going to potentially swipe it. Yeah, well, I guess for the moment, nothing in here. How am I going to convince her And so I had to get Council Leader Ben Buren as well as Chantal both convinced to leave the island. How? How?
Hello?
Yes? What is it?
Oh, nothing new.
I gotta
Okay.
go.
Yes!
Okay. Oh, there's a hammer. Brightly colored clothes.
Colorful cloths. They don't seem to fulfill any purpose, apart from being
Cloths.
colorful. Not much escaped the brat's magic. This hammer is one of the lucky few.
So she noticed the treats, but not the hammer or the... I'm not complaining, but... slightly strange. All of this is go to the Mary, so you can't even go up those steps that used to be there. Nope. No combinations of those. Knock Chantal out. Seems like a bad idea.
Violence is never the solution. In my experience, the absurd combination of bizarre objects is the solution. Always.
Yep. Nothing for the hippogriff, looks like.
Away we go.
Okay, so if that's there, I still can't go
After
to
everything
Seastone?
Ivo told me, Seastone is a no-go at the moment. Better that we're not seen there without the Archmage.
Right, so
His
it's
human
generally,
version, I mean.
it's generally being spotted there, not specific to Chantal and Van Buren per se. Okay. Haha, this city is just la 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 la. It's funny. Just noticed that under the big mushrooms, the reference to the movie My Neighbor Totoro. Oh, really? Oh. Under the big mushrooms, huh? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Gonna get him killed. Also gonna get him killed, of course.
Unfortunately, I'd have to hold the string tight for my voice to come out of the tin, and it would also be too quiet. Otherwise, I could talk as William without having to stand behind him.
I don't know. Well, we will call it for tonight, I guess. That's good enough for now. All right. And that is going to do it. Thanks for joining me. Cosmic, you see it at some point. Coach Arde, thank you. Monmouth Silowell, thanks. I appreciate the support. We're making some pretty decent progress, I guess, right? We got Nate free from Tartuga, and then went to Elfborough, and then went back to Tartuga, the colorful version of it. Yeah, so I don't think there are any objects we've not gathered at the Elfborough. I mean, I don't think there are any objects there to gather that we haven't already gathered. So I don't know about combining things. Suppose if we could maybe get the beehive somehow, and we drop that near Chantal. She could do all she wants to the beehive, but there are a bunch of bees, and she's not going to hit like most of them probably. Maybe she could do like an area of effect or something with the wand, though I have no idea. Anyway, so that's going to be it for tonight. Appreciate it. Oh, Monmouth, you switched to your iPhone, looks like. Okay, well, anyway. Yep, so about a little over 11 hours from now, we'll be doing another stream. We'll be doing more Arkham Horror. And then tomorrow night will be more obscure. So, thanks for watching. See you next time. Till then. Peace.
Poor spider.
This freaky boy. Oh, that's so sad.